Wagwan, my brothers and sisters. Welcome back to African Bars, and we are always celebrating Africa. And if something happens that, that positively impact Africa, we tell you, focusing on the positives, because, the negatives you're going to get from the mainstream media, the CNN and the rest. Although if something bad happens, we feel and we cry with the African brothers. Yeah. So, last year, 2023 in July, Niger decided to take their, power in their hands, and they took the government. We saw Abdurrahman Tiani taking the government, and the people of Niger were happy because the puppet president, Mohamed Bazoum, was put inside a house arrest. Ecowas followed.
And what did he say? Make some noise.
No. That was the Gabon.
Yeah, that's Gabon. That's stupid.
Yeah. So we saw Ecowas coming in and putting in a lot of sanctions for Niger, which included halting the flow of goods, closing borders, banning air travel, and we saw back and forth with Niger even closing the airspace for Air France and the rest. We saw people commenting, but as much as the goods and services went up in Niger, remember we saw Nigeria cutting power to Niger. The people of Niger never backed down. They suffered, but never backed down. Then ECOWAS said that they are also going to maintain these sanctions against Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso. And they also wanted to take their army there to bring back Mohamed Bazoum, in which we saw the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, with Assimi Goïta and Mamadou from Guinea, Mamadou Dabouya, saying you cannot try to do that. If you try to do that, we are going in full force and we are going to fight you. You cannot enter Guinea.
What happened to Mamadou?
Okay, he never joined, yes, but people say that he joined, but
keeping it
under the surveys, because even they say that the flow of goods, those are like reports, secret allegations. So even goods and services which were to go through the port of Benin after the ECOWAS closed borders, Guinea was allowing these goods to go through them. Only that it's very far from Niger through Burkina Faso or through Mali
to Niger
to Guinea.
Oh.
So, what have the people of Niger done? We have been seeing them winning. We keep on celebrating in this channel with you guys, and we have seen that you are very excited about this. And we saw Benin backing down. Benin, which started suffering because the airport had nobody to use, because Togo had allowed these people to go through there. But after we saw Benin suffering with their ports, nobody using them, we saw Benin president
opening up,
Patrice Talon saying we need to normalize ties with these guys, and finally it was
But he did mention that it doesn't mean that they will be removing the sanctions.
Of course, what were the sanctions? It is closing the borders and all that. Yeah. So guys, we are seeing African NGOs suing ECOWAS over its colonial influenced. They say that colonial influenced sanctions against 4 military run states. You know the 4? Yes, let's get into it.
So it says here, an alliance of African non-governmental organizations has filed a lawsuit against the regional bloc ECOWAS, or Economic Community of West African States.
The puppet organization.
With the leader himself.
The noob.
Seeking the lifting of sanctions imposed on 4 countries in the Sahel region. This action is in response to measures taken by ECOWAS following coups in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and Guinea. As part of the activist group's involvement in the lawsuit filed with the Community Court of the 15-country union, are the Coalition of African Patriots of Burkina Faso, COPA/PF, and Youth for Peace and Security Africa, YPS Africa of Ghana. So, these several and colonial influence sanctions are not only immoral but also illegal and undemocratic because they are not supported by any law of provision. We ask the Ecowas Court to take into account human rights violations, discussions on the human rights of African Union, the revised Ecowas Treaty, and its protocols, as well as international laws to declare sanctions against citizens illegal. The plaintiff text read. The NGOs initiating the legal action demand the Ecowas Court to declare these sanctions against citizens as illegal. According to the organizations, Ecowas sanctions have resulted in the deaths of over 125,000 individuals, particularly affecting women and children.
Actually, these people should be put in prison, starting with their chairman, the grandfather. He should be put in prison. It was. These people don't think. Like, you are so controlled that you don't think about what will happen if I switch off electricity to those hospitals. What will happen if people starve?
If medical supplies don't go into this.
And you are not the person who have bought the medicines or the food. They are just passing it through your boundaries from your port, and they are paying for this port, among other things.
My question is, what does this have to do with the citizens? Because if you have a problem with the military junta, why don't you face the military junta? I mean, now we are closing medical supplies for us all. The more we die, the more you think, the better your chances of, reversing.
The more people suffer, the more they are pressured to go against their government. And remember, the people of Niger, the people of Burkina Faso, the people of Mali and Guinea are supporting their president. So you have to make them suffer so that they can also bow to you. But what did we see? Night vigils until the military left.
Even up to date, they still stand by their government.
And the military has left. Yeah.
That shows you the power of unity, the power of understanding things deeply, because sometimes you read comments, even in our videos, and you realize this is somebody who probably doesn't understand the issue the way it's supposed to be. And having governments like Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traore explaining even to the smallest kid to say, this is what has been happening, this is what they've done to us, this is how we're trying to take ourselves out of this nonsense. It empowers the kids, it empowers the society to know and to critically think. When France says Ibrahim Traore has done this, what is it that they are hiding? So there's critical thinking, you get more empowered, and you are not just gullible to every information that comes your way.
And that is what makes me happy with those governments of the Alliance of Sahel states. One thing that they did, because you know what happens, they give us their radios, their TVs for free. So what we watch is what they want us to. So these guys banned them from their country. So you hear they have closed France 24, they have closed RFI and others. Then they ensure that even the local TVs are not spreading propaganda. So they are only spreading what is right. Then they go down even to the villages, telling the people this is what has been happening, and this is why Thomas Sankara was killed. This is why we had a president who killed Thomas Sankara as your president for years, among other things. And the people are able to wake up and realize, wow, the reason why we are suffering is because of France. And they all together now come and support their president because they have the information, and then chase these people away. But when people don't know and they have been...
It's very easy.
Like a lot of Africans have this notion of believing in the Western religion media, and with this they only think the way these people are. Like it's like them to think. People thinking that the person who is bad is Palestine, whilst the person who is bad is the other side. You see? And they will be supporting the other side.
Another argument.
Yeah, it's Latin's example because it's the media which wants you to believe that. But when you wake up, you are like, no. These people have been suffering. This is what has been happening. This is why we are where we are. They did this to our people so that we can remain slaves. And like, no, we can.
Mind you, they don't teach these things in school. So
of course, it's their own. It's their education. It's their constitution. Yeah, that's what is happening in Africa. And until we get presidents and leaders who are teaching us what and telling us this is what happened, we will remain asleep.
Yeah, and I've always wondered. Have you ever realized that France 24 is the most easily available channel? Go anywhere in Africa.
It's
I
there.
swear, even if you didn't pay your DSTV, whatever subscription for that month, you will still have
It's
access
free to hear.
to
It's
to
free
France
to hear.
24. And it's running news 24 hours. So there are some people who love to listen to this Western
They want
news.
to see the international news, eh?
So the only view that you have about this thing is the France view. So we need to be very, very careful.
And do you know they have touched France 24? I think there are many, but they are
one for
translated. No, they are translated. If you go to Senegal, if you go to Cote d'Ivoire, it's France 24 in
French.
French. Come to East Africa, South Africa, it's in English. And I think if you go to Mozambique, you find the one in Portuguese.
For sure.
Yeah.
You have to get access to them and understand the
And
news.
it's clear, even when the local channels are not watching France 24.
Very perfect.
Yeah.
We need to be very careful with these guys.
Yeah, guys, if you can, if you are able, watch RT, the Russian TV. It was banned in DSTV. It was banned, or YouTube. It's not there, but you can always find it in Rambo. Rambo is like YouTube, but Rambo. You can also look at this Sputnik. It's also very nice, and those guys will give you the news as they are.
Yeah, at this point, you can't trust everything that you see in these channels. So guys, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe. We are almost at 10,000 and you guys have been great to us. Thank you so much for taking that subscribe. If you haven't, please do. This is your chance. Before this video ends, make sure you have subscribed. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye bye.